Hello. Let me know if you guys can hear me now that everything's finally working. Hello to Brian McKee, Largo233, Daboy, Sketchy Sam, Brian, Monster Slurpee, Scooter, Adam Fishkin. Who else did I see? I saw Dana say she couldn't make it because she's like going outside, apparently. And hey, Andrea. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? my Streamlabs updated this week, and apparently that means it just decided that it wasn't going to open. Let me just transition to the screen. There we go. It just decided it wasn't going to open. So I had to restart, and then it decided, okay, well, you can't decide which microphone is attached to Streamlabs now. And I was like, okay, so I restarted Streamlabs, and then it was like, okay, you can't select a scheduled stream. You have to start a new one. So I had to select the scheduled stream from like the calendar option in Streamlabs. And then I had to try and figure out how to get out of the calendar section and back to the editor section, because then I couldn't like unmute my mic or anything. Point is, Streamlabs updated and broke everything, as to be expected when anything updates. But hey everyone, we're just doing the free stream this time around. I'm like still getting over something, so I might be a little lower energy this week, month, I don't know. But it's all good. We're here now. Glad I made it through it. Yeah. It's like clockwork. It doesn't even stress me out anymore because I just expect it at this point, where everything works fine, and then literally 5 minutes before I go live, something decides to break. And it's always like completely independent from anything I'm doing. Like everything works fine, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, CPUF is scheduled to go live. We'd better just completely fall apart. And it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So these days, I just kind of schedule, I like start streaming, or I start checking things like 15 minutes before I go live, because I just anticipate that something is going to go wrong. But hey guys, how's it going? What else? Let me just check what's going on in chat. What's your favorite mythological animal? That is, I want to say a difficult question. I like unicorns. I know that's such a basic response, but I do. But if I was going to go for something a little bit more esoteric, I'm not sure. I think I'll just stick with unicorns, which is very, very basic. But, I mean, what can you do? It's a classic for a reason, right? I mean, I have and always, to this day, collect My Little Ponies from the 80s specifically. So I think I'm just kind of doomed to like unicorns regardless of anything else. And somebody asked me, I think it was Brian, asked me what the song was at the beginning. It's, let me just get the name here, because I typed it in chat, but it's Hitomi no Naka de Dancing Eyes by Maria Kawamura. And it is from a promotional CD, which was released to promote the 5-Star Story manga specifically, because I think this was before the OVA came out. I'm not sure. So it was like a CD they did to like go with the manga. There's a lot of like Japanese media that actually does that, where they'll, what do you mean there's no object to transform? Where they will use music to promote manga instead of like anime. I don't know if they do that so much anymore. I think they now kind of just use YouTube for that sort of thing. But back in the 90s and I think early 2000s, that was like a legitimate marketing strategy. And a lot of these CDs and whatever else, just they're out of print and you can't find them anymore. So there's a YouTube channel called Marty McFly's version 2. I often have them credited in my videos because I sometimes use music of his, and he like goes out and buys vinyls of out of print things on the Japanese eBay. So he has a lot of these like out of print promotional anime / manga music just up on his channel. He's got a really good song that I quite like, which is apparently made for a sports distributor that like specialized in skiing and things like that, like snowboards and skis and things. And they've got a very good song that's like their promotional song that they used in the 80s that I quite like. So Marty McFly's archives a lot of that stuff. A lot of them sometimes get flagged with copyright, but because a lot of them are really, really weird, you'll find like random stuff in there that have no copyright within the system. And this promotional CD for 5-Star Stories is one of the things that just, it does not seem to be in the system at all. And I hope it stays that way, because I actually used the song in the High Guardian Spice video, and I would prefer it if that did not get claimed. My goal is to catalog all dragon lore and write a comprehensive volume on the matter. Ooh, that would be pretty cool. I used to be really into like those kind of mythological books in the 2000s when I was like a teenager or like preteen, and I had a few of them, and I was always disappointed when some of them were less scientific than I wanted them to be. Hey, Billy Donuts! Billy Donuts is donuts for everyone. Hey there, Billy Donuts. Manga music sounds like a music nerd rabbit hole I'd end up going down. Yeah, there's like Kenny Lauterdale has archived somewhere an entire like 15-minute OVA that was released on Laserdisc, which only existed to promote a manga from the 80s called Purple Eyes in the Dark. And there's like an entire Laserdisc, and the only reason it exists is to promote that manga. And the Laserdisc is essentially what you would make in Windows Movie Maker in the early 2000s for YouTube at like 240p. It's just a bunch of like watercolor images with like video effects put on it, except it was made in like 1988. So it's like, it's this very bizarre piece of media. Kenny Lauderdale and Marty McFly's and who's the other one? Kineko, I think they're called. Let me just double tick my Discord here. Kineko Video. They are like carrying anime preservation on their backs, like the three of them. Like basically anything that's like super old school anime that's been restored or released in like a 4K restoration, it's like one of those three people. It's insane. Especially Kenny Lauderdale. Like the amount of things that Kenny Lauderdale has archived on archive.org or on YouTube in his video whole channel. It's like actually ridiculous how much effort he's put into things. And it's not even things that are good. Like he's archived a lot of OVAs which are like really mid or like really ass. It's really funny. Eyes in the Dog, One Moon Circles. No, this is Purple Eyes in the Dog. Let me see if I can actually just find an image of it. I ended up reading it because I was curious. It's not very good, but it has an intriguing premise because it's about a girl. She's not a werewolf, but she turns into a leopard. I forget why, I forget how, but basically it works around werewolf rules where for some other reason she turns into a leopard and then she has to like kill people. And it's made in that era of shoujo where even though it's a shoujo, it's got like a whole bunch of really dark themes going on there. But it's not very good. The boy says, here's a little fact about obscure anime. A while ago, I found the 1996 Sonic OVA, the one with Knuckles' awesome hat. This is pretty good. I actually have that on VHS. That's one I had to order from Amazon in like, I don't know, 2001 or something. And I mean like the American Amazon. It took like 1,000 years to get here. And now I have it on a piece of obsolete media. So that's something I have. Let me just check if I've got these all set up properly. So I think it's this one. I can never figure out how to do these stupid panels properly. I believe it's that one. I believe, what's this? I think this I can delete. This one I know I can delete, so I can throw that away. This one I think I can delete, remove that. And then I think, if I remember correctly, it is Ratterize. Let me just try and remember how to do this. Here we go, Ratterize. There we go. Okay, all sorted. And then I'll just make it yellow so I can see what I'm doing. And just label it page 1. So because this is the free stream, we're just working on whatever I'm working on. So I'm starting another comic because I know no peace. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So I've thumbnailed out the first part here, and I've done the lettering, for lack of a better word, I suppose. And as I've been talking, I've just done the paneling because Clip Studio Paint has awesome paneling tools. So I've done this, and I've done page 2. So just turn this off, turn this on. So there's page 2. So I've done the lettering and posing for page 2. I'll do the panels now quickly.
You have received a new message.
Oh, thank you, Abina. And then I'll do the thumbnailing for page 3. Ah, thank you, Scooter. There is a new game out called Magical Princess. You can raise a daughter and send her to school to become a magical girl. You should try it. Is it like the same as like Princess Maker? Why can't I like this comment? Everything is breaking today. Is it the same as Princess Maker? Because I've never played Princess Maker, but I'm like tangentially interested in it because the person who made the Princess Maker games, I mean, it was originally made by Gainax, and the person who does the art and like makes and owns the Princess Maker games, he was on the original Daikon 4 project. So I'm like tangentially interested in Princess Maker, even though it's not per se the exact genre of things. I'm not really big into like a raising creatures game. Like I want to say I was into Tamagotchi when that was a big thing in the 90s, but I can't say like the Chow Garden type of gameplay is something that ever really interested me. I'm somebody where I feel like I need a bit of a narrative to get really, really invested in something. And as I said last time when I was streaming, that's kind of why I was more interested in Grimshire than Stardew Valley. Even though I've played Stardew Valley a bunch of times, Grimshire just scratches an itch for me much better than Stardew Valley does. Okay, what's going on here? There we go. Okay. And this, because I don't need the frame background. I don't need this. And this we can ratterize. There we go. And I saw that, what is it called? The new game had just come out. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm ratterizing before I've even divided up the panels here. Fields of Mistra. Fields of Mistra just came out, which I'm happy for them, but at the same time, after playing Grimshire, I can't really get super excited for Fields of Mistra, just because Grimshire has the entire narrative and overarching plot going on. Whoops. And Fields of Mistra is essentially just a farming sim with like a 90s anime aesthetic to it, which is good. I like the aesthetic it has going, but I can't really feel that it has enough to keep me like invested in it. I think it says a lot about the kind of games I like that I've played Stardew Valley I've got a few hours in it. However, I've never made it to year 3 in Stardew Valley because I always lose interest before we even get to year 3. Like I always like stop playing, and then when I play again, I start from scratch, and I never get to year 3 just because I lose interest. Okay, now we can ratterize. There we go. And make this yellow and name it page 2. There we go. So I've done the lettering and posing for page 2. And I am on page 3, which I've done these 2. So I'm going to try and focus on chat and thumbnail this out at the same time, which is going to be tricky, but we're going to do our best. I've noticed it's a little hard to like focus and engage with chat while I'm trying to think about what I'm drawing. But we're doing thumbnails, so it shouldn't be too bad, but we'll see. Has anyone seen Yuki Yuna as a hero? I hear it's similar to Madoka Magica. What are we drawing today? No, we're just working on a comic because it's the free stream. I have actually seen Yuki Yuna as a hero. I've seen the first season, I think it is. First season. I haven't watched anything further than that. It is okay. There are parts of it I really dislike, and I feel it completely crashes and burns at its ending. It's got good ideas to it, but there's a lot of things I have problems with. Hey, Ponscam. Anyway, what was the dialogue going to be in this panel? Because I like writing it out just so I have a rough idea and I don't lose concept about what's going on. So this was... let me just think. Like I said, I'm also going over something at the moment, so my brain is not firing on all cylinders at the moment. Actually, you know what? I'll just skip the dialogue for now because I know what he's saying in this panel. I just can't remember the exact wording. So the next panel should be... Let me just try and get myself back into what I was doing. So here it's this. Okay, I know. So in this panel, he should actually be getting up. So he's getting up. Wait, I know, let me do the body first. So he's getting up in this panel. So he's like this. This leg can be here, which means he's got his arm like that. He's got this leg here, like that. And this arm would be like that, so he can like press on his leg as he stands up. And Rocky can stand here. Otherwise, what we can do, which might actually be smarter in terms of me interacting with chat as I'm working, is I might just draw Rocky on the first page, because for some reason I'm really, really good at drawing him with like minimal brain power needed, which is very strange. I don't know how that works, but here we are. Do that, put that leg there, and then the table goes here. And we can like just block off this panel. And I might actually do that because I don't want to sit here in silence as I'm trying to like block out panels. And I know what happens here. Yeah, so I'm going to do that instead. So we're going to turn that off. We're going to turn this one on. We're going to turn the opacity way down. And then we're going to start a new folder. We'll make this one, we'll use a different color. There we go. Make it this. It's a little close to orange, but it's fine. And we'll label this for Rocky. And then we will put this in here and we'll call this sketch. Okay. So what are you guys up to? Oh, I do have Project Hail Mary on streaming. I have something to do tonight. Yeah, please watch it. Your homework is always and forever to watch it. Watch it 50 times. I'm waiting for the collector's edition of the book to come out on the 1st of December. Then I'm going to like make a bigger order where I have like the Blu-ray or the like 4K release. That's what I'm looking forward to. Here we go. Pen, pencil 2, 12. Okay. Well, no, 8, 6. Otherwise, it's going to be too big. And I want to pull up my references. I'm playing Fallout 4 as a Sister of Battle. I've actually never played Fallout 4. I have heard mixed things about it. I've said this before. I've got a very love-hate relationship with, not BioWare, although I do have a love-hate relationship with them as well. But I have a love-hate relationship with Bethesda because Morrowind is like one of my favorite games of all time, and I hate Oblivion with a burning fiery passion, and Skyrim is okay. So I have never really looked at the Fallout games before, because I hear that if you are like actually interested in Fallout, like the original Fallout games, then the Bethesda Fallout games are extremely frustrating, just because they take what is a relatively grounded concept and they essentially turn it into like a cartoon universe, and it's really annoying to the fans. And as somebody who really likes Morrowind, it's like, yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I've been there, it hurts. Okay, let's see. Turn him a little bit around. The 3D model I use for reference is actually not super accurate. I believe they have the torso in the 3D model bigger than it is on the puppet, and they also have his stance a little bit more wide-legged than it actually is in the movie and on the puppet, just so that it can work better for 3D printing. So it's good for reference, but I tend to have to make adjustments in my mind as I go. I've been thinking about this recently, and I've been hoping I could have your thoughts on it. What's your opinion on censorship of anime, even if just for minor things? You know, I've been thinking about that too, and it is a very difficult topic, which I think I would like to sit down and like really formulate my thoughts into how I would like to say them out loud. But the quick and easy way that I would say my opinion on most things is I am extremely anti-censorship. I am very, very anti-censorship. And although I am very anti-censorship, I also understand that there is such a thing as potentially doing harm with what media you release. And that's why, just because I'm anti-censorship doesn't mean I think that all things should be available all the time to absolutely everyone. But I do not agree with any kind of thinking that dictates what other people are allowed and not allowed to show in media or discuss. And it's not necessarily because I'm trying to protect the things which are quote unquote bad, but because if you're going to apply broad rules to what you should censor in anime, there's a lot of things that are going to get caught in the net, which are also going to get censored. And it's just a clusterfuck. Like, the one I always use as an example, I might have said this on stream before, is, yeah, I did mention this on stream before. I was watching the video where Anthony Gramuglia was replying to Lily Orchard's terrible, terrible writing advice. And one of the things Lily said you must never do in a story is have a minor in a relationship with an adult. And Anthony Gramugligu, because he is a poser, was like, yeah, I agree with that. That's actually a good take. And I'm like, do you realize the amount of extremely good stories you are completely discarding and making impossible to make if you make that a rule, like a quote-unquote hard rule? Like, you're not allowed showing a minor and an adult in a relationship. Well, automatically, Revolutionary Girl Utena stops existing, because the entire concept of that show is to show how people, whether it's men or adults, will use sex as a weapon, essentially, to overpower vulnerable people and just pressure them into conforming into what that character wants them to be. That is what the entire story is about. And at the same time, another anime that you completely just get rid of that can't exist is Nana. Now, Nana is considered one of the best josei anime ever made. And what happens in Nana is it's about two girls, both named Nana. They're both in their early 20s. And the one girl, Nana, who's like the stylish one, she entered into a relationship when she was a teenager with an adult man. Now, the important thing to note is she was the person who kind of noticed the adult man and kind of wanted to get in a relationship with him. And the adult man, instead of saying, no, you are a child, you are a teenager, like reciprocated what she wanted. And Nana knew as a teenager that this relationship would not go anywhere. She knew it was just for fun, blah, blah, blah. And then the adult man broke it off with her. He said, okay, well, he needs to move because of his company. So he's taking his family and he's never going to see her again. And they break off the relationship. Now the anime takes place while that character is 22. And it turns out that you can't have a relationship with somebody when you are a minor, because even if it is completely reciprocated, it psychologically damages you. And so Nana is written from the perspective of a female character who went through something extremely traumatic because she put herself into a relationship she was not ready for, and the adult in the relationship did not protect her, and now she has all these like emotional wounds because of what happened to her. It's a very, very, very complex and adult story, like how it handles relationships and how it handles female psychology and things like that. If you're going to say, oh, you can't make stories where adults and minors in a relationship, guess what? Nana doesn't exist. So they are like these really, really important stories, often written by women, explaining situations they've been in, things that they've had experienced, things that they've had happen to them. And if you say, okay, well, you can't show those things in stories, sorry, that's not allowed, like you're essentially telling an entire group of people that they're not allowed to make fiction about things that literally happened to them. And that's why it's such a difficult thing, where you're like, okay, well, you can't show this because this is bad. And then there's just so many things that get caught in that net. And it's a bad idea to be like, you cannot show this or you cannot show that. Because that's what happens. And I was watching a documentary on a World War I painter from Germany called Otto Dix, Ottodix, Otto Dix. And his art is extremely graphic, that he did right after World War I because he was a soldier, and just the continued way that they tried to censor what he painted and what he did because it was grotesque. And looking at his paintings, yes, they are extremely grotesque, But now we're almost 100 years later. Those paintings are considered extremely historically important because they capture a snapshot of a specific window in time. That doesn't change the fact that they were grotesque at the time he painted them, but that does not mean that the people at the time had the right to tell him you're not allowed to show that experience visually in your art. So, no. Hey, Kevin Riley, I'm giving my opinions on censorship in anime, which is I do not agree with it. And I think one should judge these things on a case-by-case basis, but I do not believe in, oh, this should not exist. You can't make stories about this subject. Like, I think that's not something you can do. I do not agree. I tried to watch Utena. I'm still not sure if it's for me, but I'm fascinated by how much it's captured people. Yeah, Utena is not for everyone. That I absolutely understand. But it is considered an absolute classic for a reason, in the way that it breaks down psychology and symbolism and how it uses like visual language in a very abstract way to tell a story about a difficult situation. It's fascinating. It's really, really interesting. But yes, I do not stand when it comes to censorship in anime. And the other thing, right? And I just say this as somebody who really likes history. A lot of people who complain and yell about the censorship of anime, they tend to be American, right? And that's just the nature of the internet. It is very American focused in the English speaking space. I personally don't think that a country that has never, ever, ever had to operate under a form of dictatorship has any right to look at another country who very, very recently got rid of its like dictatorial, heavily censored government. And then America says to that country, oh, you're not allowed to make art about that subject because it's bad. And it's like, this country has for literal hundreds of years, longer than your country has been in existence, lived under extremely strict laws as to what they are allowed to show in art. And it is cosmically very, very recent that they've been able to show things in art. And I don't think you, who has never had to experience living under that form of dictatorship and censorship, is allowed to then kick in the door and say, oh, I'm from a different country and I don't think you should be allowed to make art about that subject. You know? It's like, who are you? Hello? Can I help you? So that also really, really annoys me, because it's coming from a perspective that it's absolutely no concept of what living under severe censorship of entertainment and art actually looks like. And they have an opinion about it. Hey, HJ Fires, how's it going? Now, just to catch up on chat, if I may pose a question, in this anime censorship thing, where's the line between censorship and localization? Like, certain jokes in one language don't translate well into others. To offer an example, most non-Japanese / anime fans will know the term tsundere or yandere. So how do you go about translating jokes like that to keep the soul of the term, just as an example? I think that's difficult, and I think we've basically come to the best way we can do that, which is we just use the Japanese terms. Like, in the modern internet space, everybody knows what a tsundere is, and pretty much everyone knows what a yandere is. We may not have known as like what those terms meant originally, but I mean, we learned, and now we know what those terms mean, and we don't really need to localize them much beyond that. A lot of us grew up when the only anime we could find were fan subs, where you had to pause every few minutes because there would be like a paragraph of translator notes telling you what a word means. And that's how we got like, oh, this is all according to Keikaku, and there's like an entire paragraph that says Keikaku is Japanese for plan. And it's like, okay, thank you, excellent. You know, the irony in that is that back in the 1800s, America was the one that forced Japan to open up to the West in the first place. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if it was America per se, because it was the Meiji Restoration, and I know it was the emperor. So I don't think it was America. I have to double check where the pressures were coming from exactly. But the Meiji Restoration was, they took power away from the shogunate and they gave it to the emperor. And the emperor recognized that if Japan does not modernize, it was going to end up a colony like so many other smaller, quote unquote, backwards societies. Because at the time, England was colonizing literally everyone. And Japan recognized, dude, if we don't want to become like a British colony, we have to catch up to the West. So they opened the borders and did what they can to literally catch up to what the West was doing. And it was a giant mess. And that's why you had the Japanese Civil War for a little bit. And then eventually the Meiji Restoration was successful. Watch Rurouni Kenshin. It sounds silly, but Rurouni Kenshin actually does a good job of like breaking down that entire that like time period. It's very interesting. And there's a live action drama called Jin, just Jin. Let me just write it. There's a live action called Jin, and it literally is about a modern day Japanese doctor being thrust back right into the middle of the Meiji Restoration, and it's a fascinating drama. It's so interesting. Oh, that was real. I thought the Keikaku stuff was a massive meme. No, it's real. Let me grab it actually. All according to Keikaku. Here we go. Ah, it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Copy image, go to live stream, go here. There you go. That's the original. And of course it's Death Note, because of what else would it be? It was America. We showed up on the iron ships and scared them. Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. In the drama I was just talking about, Jin, when he's trying to figure out what year he's landed in Japan, because he figures out pretty quickly that he's traveled back in time. The problem is he's like a modern day doctor, so he's like, what year is it? And the Japanese woman he's asking gives him the year in like the outdated Japanese system, so he doesn't know what year it is. And his way to figure out what time period he's in is to ask her, have the black ships appeared? And she said, yes, they appeared 10 years ago. And just from that piece of information, he's able to piece together that, oh, he's in the middle of the Meiji Restoration. It's really good. Like, Jin is a really, really good show. Highly recommend. Let me just take a sip of my Pepsi here. The guy that made Rurouni Kenshin is terrible though. Yeah. Watch the anime. Don't read the manga, because at least with the anime, more than one person was involved with it. The manga, it's also difficult, right? Because I was about to say, well, don't read the manga because then you're supporting a terrible person, which, yes. But at the same time, one of the assistants that worked on the Rurouni Kenshin manga is Olga, who made One Piece. So, like, where do you draw the line? You can't watch or read One Piece because Olga worked on Rurouni Kenshin, and the manga author of Rurouni Kenshin is a terrible person. Like, what are we doing, right? Like, where do you draw the line? Hey, Tridale. The main thing I've seen of Rurouni is that English theme song. Oh Lord. To be honest, the Japanese theme song of Rurouni Kenshin, I think it's called White Strawberries. It's not good. I really, really highly dislike the Rurouni Kenshin theme song. I've been struggling with this leg for what feels like an hour. Hold on. This leg goes here. This leg, the back leg goes here. See, because here this leg is right here, but that actually doesn't make for a very nice silhouette. So I want to push this leg here. I want to push it back so it's a little bit more back here. But then this leg here I also want on the ground, so it's located here. And he has kind of a bulldog stance where his legs do that. So I'm trying to think, okay, well, this leg is up, so this leg would be like that, along this line like that. And to go back onto the topic of censorship, the one anime that always gets brought up or mentioned, and it's become a bit of a meme in my streams because I do not want to watch it and it haunts me, is Shoujo Tsubaki. And the big thing is like, okay, well, what about Shoujo Tsubaki? Which, again, this leg is not working. And the thing with Shoujo Tsubaki is it has a worldwide ban except in France. Okay. And it's like, okay, well, what about Shoujo Tsubaki? I've never watched Shoujo Tsubaki, just to be clear. I have no interest in watching it. But, like, where does that land? Because Shoujo Tsubaki has a worldwide ban, including Japan, for a very good reason. But at the same time, it is also, like, weirdly culturally important, both in how it keeps alive, like, Japanese traditional storytelling in terms of horror, as well as the method in which it's usually screened in Japan, which is it's screened in a sort of, I forget what the word is, like a horror theater that they used to do in the 1800s a lot. Like, that is the only way that Shoujo Tsubaki tends to be screened in Japan. And so it's trying to keep alive a certain amount of Japanese horror theater. And nothing in Shoujo Tsubaki is supposed to be enjoyable. There isn't a single frame of that thing which is meant to be entertaining, quote unquote. It's meant to be upsetting, it's meant to be extreme, and it is. And okay, now what? It's like, okay, cool. And I'm somebody who likes horror, right? But I don't really like a story where there doesn't seem to be much point to it beyond misery. And from what I read of the Shoujo Tsubaki manga, at least, that's all it comes across. It just comes across as misery with no real point beyond that. So Shoujo Tsubaki is really like a difficult topic in that sense, because it's like, does that have a right to exist? That's what it boils down to. And I want to say yes, but at the same time, I'm like, ugh, but it exists though. Another thing about the censorship topic, people often point to censoring fan service as a big deal. Fan service is personally not my thing usually, but I'm not sure how I feel about removing it. I think it's stupid because I'm not one for fan service, obviously. It does absolutely nothing for me. But you also have to kind of keep in mind, well, what is the context for the fan service that you're currently watching? And a good example is like Neon Genesis Evangelion, right? It's got fan service in it. But Neon Genesis Evangelion, the entire point of that story is that you are viewing the events and your main character that you are experiencing the story through is a 14-year-old boy whose like sexuality is directly linked to the narrative of what's going on. So it has fan service in it because you are viewing things from that perspective. So of course there's going to be fan service in it because that is how that character is viewing what's going on. And even if you want to like take it out of like the super artsy discussion and just say, okay, well, what if it's just fan service for the sake of fan service? And it's at that point it's like, okay, well then it's catering to an audience that's looking for fan service. Like, right? But I don't think fan service should be removed. I do think that it shouldn't be put in absolutely everything, but that's not so much a topic of censorship. That's just a topic of understanding the tone of the thing that you are making, right? And that's not really, to me, a censorship problem. That's just a problem of, okay, well, what sort of story are you making that you want to include this? Does this thematically fit with what you're doing? And if the answer is no, it's like, okay, well, why is it here then? And again, that's not a topic of censorship. That's a topic of just understanding the thing that you are making. Andrea asks, how so? Was it a production with France? Because I have seen the movie. Do you mean Shoujo Tsubaki? No. France just thinks it's fine. France is just like, this is fine. That's why. The thing that bothers me about it is that people always point fan service as being inappropriate for kids, but they refuse to just read the damn age rating. It's that, but at the same time, I will see people say, okay, well, why is it teenagers in anime? And it's like, brother, you are the one watching the shonen. You are watching the anime, which is made for teenagers. That is why the characters that have fan service in it are teenagers, is because the show is meant to be watched by teenagers. It is specifically catering towards them as an audience. And I don't know how many teenagers you've spoken to, but they tend to kind of like seeing stories about their own age group. Like they enjoy that kind of thing. So that's also part of it. It's like, well, how come so much of this fan service is teenagers? Because it's a story made for teenagers. If you want to see a show where the fan service is about adults, maybe watch an anime that's aimed at adults, because they do exist. Nana, for instance, is made for adults. Oh, you were talking about Realm of the Senses? I'm actually not familiar with that. Like I said, I thought you meant Shoujo Tsubaki because, again, France is the only country in the world that was like, yeah, this is fine, which is kind of funny to me. Sad thing about breaking Japanese censorship, Nagisa Oshiba, oh, in the Realm of the Senses, gotcha. Found the only loophole, blame the film's content on the French. Oh, I see. Okay, I've caught up with the conversation. That's kind of very funny, actually. Me personally, I just avoid anime with this sets of fan service. I don't want to see that. Exactly. And the quote-unquote problem with fan service for me is when it's in a story that doesn't need it and it serves no purpose and it's just kind of there, and then you just kind of roll your eyes and you're like, okay, this has no reason to be here, but I guess we're doing this. And a good example of that is actually Yuki Yuna as a hero. Yuki Yuna as a hero has a lot of fan service in it, and no, like, it's a magical girl show. I understand that it's aiming for teenage boys as its audience, but it's kind of wild that there's a lot of fan service in that show and there is not a single male character in the entire anime. And the fan service in that is so over the top that I'm just like, it's just kind of like you're watching it and you're like, good Lord, is this really necessary? This doesn't fit with the story. This is kind of a grimdark story that you're telling here. I don't know how I feel about having the transformation sequences be this sexualized, because it does not fit the tone of what's going on. How, when, and why did this get into my recommended, Lamau? Hey, Androthel, I don't know. Welcome to the party. We are having a lot of discussions about hot takes, I suppose, while I'm trying to desperately fight with Rocky as I'm discussing censorship in anime and the fact that I'm quite against it, even if I don't agree with it. Because that's what I think a lot of people don't understand about being anti-censorship, right? You have to be anti-censorship about the things you don't like. You can't just be anti-censorship about the things you like. That's not how that works. You have to be anti-censorship about things that you also do not enjoy. Like, I'm sorry, but there's no such thing as a little bit of censorship, okay? There's no such thing as just a little censorship. No, it doesn't work that way. Do you watch fan service shows like High School DxD? No, because again, it doesn't appeal to me and it does nothing for me. Is Rocky actually on balance here? I know I keep talking about this. I think he is. I think he's actually okay. Because like if I flip him, he looks alright because that leg is there. These legs are here. And then he's lifted up this leg, but it's going to go there. So I think he's actually okay for balance. So I think I'm just going to move on to the next step because I keep redrawing him over and over as I'm trying to explain my thoughts in a coherent way without getting a call-out video made about me that says, CPuff is pro-fan service or whatever. Okay, no, I don't watch fan service shows. Like, I started watching the first episode of Summertime Rendering, and it has fan service in it, and I am interested in watching the rest of the anime, because I was just checking whether the video file was okay. And, like, the fan service in Summertime Rendering in the first episode, I was like, okay. Like, alright, I suppose I'm gonna have to deal with this if I want to watch this story going on, alright. You know, it's like, okay. Fine, I'll just suck it up. Just recently discovered the Italian theme song for Lupin III, and it's just randomly dirty as hell. But the thing is, that's actually quite on brand for Lupin III, because Lupin the Third is kind of really dirty just on its own, like from conception. It is. I mean, the theme song, like the title sequence of Lupin the Third, and I'm talking about the original from like the early 70s that Miyazaki worked on. It has Lupin like literally jumping out of his clothes at Fujiko. Like it tells you what the anime is like right on the tin. Like before the episode even starts, you know what you're getting into. I used to watch a lot of dumb fan service anime when I was younger, but now I can barely sit through one without cringing a bit. Yeah, like it never really did anything to me, but I will say when I was younger, I didn't notice it as much. I was just like, oh, okay. It might just be because I was stupid and I didn't realize that's what was going on. It might have just been there and I'm like, huh, that's weird, and then not think about it further, which is most likely what happened for me. But also, you must understand, when I say anime that I watched as a kid, if we're not talking things like Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, the anime I was watching as a kid, were things I would find to rent at the video store, and it was things like Megazone 2-3 and Patlabor, the movie, and a one named Amnesia, which is very bad. Even as a child, I could tell that was a terrible anime. And Bloodlust. No, not Bloodlust. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, as well as Blood the Last Vampire, which I really liked Blood the Last Vampire as a teenager. I don't know whether I would call it a good anime, but when I was like 13 or 14, I thought that was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. So, not sure if Blood would hold up as a good anime, but Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, that one absolutely holds up as a really good anime. And I believe it's on YouTube. Somebody uploaded it a while ago. I don't know whether it's still up, but it should be. And that one I actually recommend, like, quite highly. It's so good. Do you watch male fan service shows, then like Free? No, not really. I did watch Free. It was okay. A lot of these shows aimed at like a female audience, like a fan service show aimed at female audiences, I tend to not like them because I don't like the way that the male characters are written. It doesn't appeal to me really. Like, they have no real substance to them. They're written far too soft, and I'm not the biggest fan of that because it's really inauthentic, and it doesn't really do anything for me. I did like Free because I thought it had a novel concept, which I think is a little bit more common in anime these days. But at the time, I quite liked the idea that it was about a person who had to work very hard to get where they were when it comes to swimming, and a person who was just naturally talented and didn't have to work very hard and doesn't have as much passion for swimming. So the person that's better at swimming isn't super passionate about it, and the person that is passionate about it isn't as good as the naturally talented one. And I thought that was a very, very interesting dynamic, and I quite like that play. I quite like the clashing frustrations going on between the two characters. Hey, Ultimate Tiebreaker. That's in both Green and Red Jacket series. Yeah, they use that a few times. I mean, it's even in FLCL, they make a reference to it, because of course they do, because it's FLCL. Any thoughts on Ouran High School Host Club? I really like Ouran High School Host Club. Like, legitimately, that is a really good anime. And I found out afterwards that a lot of writers that worked on Ouran, the anime specifically, not the manga, it's the same writers who worked on Utena and would go on to work for the writing on FLCL. It's really interesting to me, like, you start drawing connections between a lot of anime you like, and then you find out, like, the same people worked on all the things that are your favorite, like, over and over again. It's just the same creators. It's really funny. But Ouran High School Host Club is legitimately a really, really, really good anime. I highly recommend that one. I also I find it interesting because it has a lot of interesting things going on in terms of, like, its discussion about gender and its discussion about, like, gender roles, and also, like, its parodying of tropes in romance anime and manga. But what I find most interesting about it is a lot of, like, the psychological stuff going on, and that's the part where you can tell it's by the same writer who worked on Utena, because That's the part I like the most. And yeah, it's the same stuff that's in Utena. Bye, Androthel. Thanks for checking in. I actually remember playing the Vampire Hunter D game on the PS1. Was kind of a Resident Evil game. Yeah, I would not think that the Vampire Hunter D video game would be any good. I also think it would most likely be based on the original novels, which from what I've heard are not as good as the movie. Like, the treatment of certain characters, specifically Ayla, is not as good in the novel as it is in the movie. Like, the movie handles it a lot better. I bet you good luck and glück, everyone. Not sure what that means, but I like the use of the umlaut. Used to have a bare bones DVD of FLCL's first 2 episodes. Days later, the internet spent an entire week in an ungodly obsession with FLCL. FLCL's DVD release were like one of the things that really taught me that official anime DVD releases are bullshit. Because FLCL is exactly 6 episodes long. There are 6 episodes of FLCL, and for some reason, they felt the need to release it on a 3 DVD box set. And it's like, what the fuck do you mean? What is that about? You can put like an entire season of an anime on like 4 discs, but FLCL, which has 6 episodes, requires like a 3 DVD box set. Like, what are we doing? And of course, it would also be like the most expensive box set in the entire store. So that was around the time I realized, you know what? I think official releases of anime is a giant scam, and I refuse to take part in it, quite frankly, because this is daylight robbery. So yeah, that fun bit of lore for you. Wow, people prefer a movie adaptation over the book. That's quite a first, and I love it. Vampire Hunter D is such an interesting anime as well because it was mainly made for a Western audience in mind. So it was made with the English dub first, because of course with anime it works opposite to the way that American animation works. In American animation or Western animation, you have the audio track of dialogue first, and then you animate to the dialogue track because all your timing is already figured out for you. You have to match your timing to the words spoken. In Japan, they animate the action first, and they use like a stopwatch to time how long a piece of dialogue in a scene is going to be, and then they focus on the action, and then it's up to the dubber afterwards to record the dialogue and make it take the same amount of space as the action. So they did Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, and they dubbed it in English first before they dubbed it into Japanese. Even though they had the Japanese voice actors like all figured out and stuff, the English release came first, and it had like a theatrical release and everything. And they also spent a lot of money on quite well-known voice actors. It's not dubbed by like a cheap dubbing company. They actually got like real actors to do the dubbing for it. And as a result, it's like one of 3 anime that I would actually recommend watching the dub over the sub. And I mean, I am a staunch subs over dub person, and I do think that the dub of Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is a lot better than its original Japanese casting. So yeah, I think it's still on YouTube. I can't link it because I don't want to get like nuked from orbit. But let me just double check if it's still up, then you guys can go look for it afterwards. Vampire Hunter D, no, not a bookmark. Hunter D Bloodlust. And I keep saying Bloodlust because there's an earlier OVA of Vampire Hunter D made in the 80s. It's not as good. I don't recommend it. I'm talking about the 2000 film. Yes, it's on YouTube. Here it is. Somebody uploaded a 4K upscale. There's the original English dub upload here. There is both the 1980s and 2000s one in one video file that's like 3 hours long. Oh, Dungeon Chill actually did a video on the PS1 game. I have to watch that. I really like Dungeon Chill. His videos are very good. Now I want to hunt down Japanese dubs of Fleischer cartoons. You say that, but Fleischer actually did the same thing in the 20s. They would also animate first and then have the voice actors like do the dialogue afterwards, which is the opposite way that Disney was doing it at the time. And that's also why Fleischer tends to look very strange, and that's why cartoons like Popeye have him like muttering and talking even though there's no lip syncing. That's why, because the dialogue that they specifically wanted him to say, they would have like very exaggerated mouth movements, and then the rest of the incidental dialogue is just characters muttering with no lip sync. It's because the voice actors are pretty much ad-libbing as they're watching the footage. Fleischer is very, very strange. Explains the Popeye's iconic mumbling. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why it's like that. It's super interesting. Fleischer's literally just did whatever the hell they wanted. It's really, really funny when you compare it to like what we now think of as the proper way to do Western animation, which so much of that comes from Disney. And then you look at what Fleischer was doing in the 20s, and they were just like absolutely not doing anything Disney was doing. It's very funny. Why do they animate before voice acting in anime in Japan? And why is the lip flap doesn't match with the character's dialogue? The reason the lip flap doesn't match is, again, because the dialogue comes after. So instead of spending a lot of time trying to do like lip sync that perfectly matches what is going to be said, they can't really predict how a VA is going to say the words, even though the timing is worked out. And sometimes a character will emote in a way that gives the VA an idea of how the character is saying their dialogue. They can't really predict the way that a VA will say every single word. So they just do the lip flaps to indicate, okay, this is this character speaking. And then they just focus on that. And they just don't worry about it matching exactly, unless it's like something very specific. I would get copyright struck for it, but if you look at the OP for the anime Mongolian Chop Squad, they have the characters in the OP actually singing the song that's playing, and they have the characters properly lip sync to the song. It's very interesting. Another anime that has proper lip sync is Akira. Akira is just insane, right? Like from bottom to top, Akira is absolutely ridiculous. Akira is like one of the anime that did dialogue first, and then they animated the lip sync to match the dialogue. And this is why Akira cost like 1 billion yen when it came out, which is not me making a joke. Like, I think that was the budget. Hey, Shady Durags. Was lurking for the last hour, but I can't stay since my D&D session is starting soon. Hope you all have a good stream. Thanks for hanging out, Shady Durags. Almost tripped over my words there. Have a good D&D session. Have fun. Yeah, and I hope your nat 20s are plentiful. Or whatever. But yes, the reason that they do the dialogue after animating is because it's just a difference in approach. Because in Japan, the thinking is the visuals are the most important part of something that's animated, so you should focus on the visuals first. Whereas in America, I say America, but the West in general, the idea is we need to be economical, and the best way to figure out our timing is to just do the dialogue and have the action match the dialogue, because it makes a lot of things a lot easier. But at the same time, in modern day, a lot of Western animation, especially in America, is driven by like celebrity voice acting. So they rely on the voice acting to kind of dictate what the acting of the characters is going to be. Whereas in Japan, it's the other way around. They let the animation dictate what the characters act like, what their acting is going to look like. And then they have the VA match the acting that the animator decided. And again, vice versa. In the West, the VA dictates how the character is going to be acting, and then you as the animator have to match it. So again, it's just kind of a difference in approach. It's not to say one is better or worse than the other. It's just, it's approaching the same problem from different angles. Both have their drawbacks, both have their strengths. And it's to a degree that you can't really say, oh, well, this one is the definitive better way to do animation, because they both work. And if Japan were to switch to lip syncing, it wouldn't really improve anything they're doing, except if you're doing something like Akira, where it's just ridiculous. And in the West, if you switch to doing voice acting afterwards, again, you don't really gain You don't gain more than you lose. So it's just, you know, it's a problem being solved two different ways, and both of them are equally valuable. When I think of extremely economical animation that is forced to rely heavily on writing and dialogue, I think of Rocky and Bullwinkle. I mean, absolutely. Literally anything made for television in America in the 50s. You essentially have... what's the word I'm thinking of? You have like voice-acted comic panels. That's what TV animation in the 50s in America is. Like, absolutely every single one of them. I think Crusader Rabbit is literally made that way, with like that being the intention. I think that was the design bible for the guy who made Crusader Rabbit. He's like, why don't we just do comic panels and we'll have somebody voice over them? Animation budget of a warm beer and a stale sandwich, absolutely. I mentioned it in the Velma video I just uploaded, but I was absolutely flabbergasted when I learned the guy who did the dub for Speed Racer. Okay, I forget his name because I'm terrible with names. Not only did he have to write the English script for Speed Racer based on the Japanese, he had the Japanese script, and then he had to like write the English version of it. He as an individual had to do that. He as an individual had to gather voice actors to dub the show. He had to be a voice actor in the show himself. He also had to be the voice director for the show. And originally, they only had a budget for 3 voice actors, and he realized they needed a 4th person. They could not do it with 3. And so in order to get a 4th person on board, he found like one of his friends that he had worked with in the industry before on a dubbing project. And he said, okay, if I take the budget reserved for the 3rd voice actor and I split it in half, and I take a pay cut and you take a pay cut, then we can have 4 voice actors for the dub. And the other guy agreed with it. And they had to dub an episode a day of Speed Racer to remain on deadline. So a lot of Speed Racer was dubbed in one take because they did not have the time. They had to dub an entire episode in a singular day. And then on top of that, the pay that a voice actor got for an episode of Speed Racer in the 60s was $12. And considering that the guy who was doing all of this took a pay cut, he was paid $6 an episode to voice act in Speed Racer at an episode a day. Those were the conditions that created the English dub of Speed Racer. That's insane. That's ridiculous. Like, that's the most crazy thing I've ever heard of in my life. And having watched at least the first 2 episodes of Speed Racer, both the dub and the sub, the dub of Speed Racer is shockingly accurate to what's being said in Japanese. Aside from like names being changed and a few details just being shifted around to make it more American, kind of like what Pokemon did, so much of the Speed Racer dub, that's literally just what they're saying in Japanese. There's very, very little that's been changed. It's really, really crazy. Like, you read some of the conditions that a lot of these early projects were made under, and you're like, that's crazy. How the hell does this thing even exist? Wait, so they translated, dubbed, and edited the full episode per day for a total of $12, $6 for the other 2? That's freaking mental. Yeah, exactly. Except he was the one getting paid $6 because he realized they needed a 4th voice actor, or he wouldn't be able to make it work. It's so crazy. Imagine having to function under those conditions. That's crazy. And the reason he did is because he saw the Speed Racer show, obviously the rough cut of the Japanese version, and he said that he cared about these characters. He was quite young as well, because of course he was, because you only do this kind of thing if you're in your 20s. By the time you hit your 30s, you become too old to want to deal with this nonsense. You're like, no, I refuse to work that much for that little pay. But when you're in your 20s, you're willing to do it. But he looked at the story of the Japanese Speed Racer and he's like, I care about this family. I can see myself caring about this family and giving a crap as to the story and what's happening to it. So I want us to dub this because I think we could really, really get a good show out of this. I've seen all 52 episodes of Speed Racer. It's really good. I need to watch more of it. I started watching Ashita no Joe though, so that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now. I don't know how far I'll get into it before I lose interest and start watching something else, but I am making an effort to watch Ashita no Joe, and I am legitimately shocked at how good the animation is for the time it came out in, because it was made in 1968, it released in 1970. It looks like it was made in the 80s in terms of animation. It doesn't mean the animation is fantastic, but the level of quality is so far above what I was expecting. It's really, really insane. Actually, Speed Racer is named Mach 5. Yes, I know it. It's Mach 5 Go Go Go, but Speed Racer is just kind of a catchier title. I'm very sorry. Calling me old there, C-Puff. JK. I like the Wachowski Speed Racer. It's probably my second favorite movie from them after Bound. You know, I didn't watch it because when it came out, it didn't get good reviews. And now that it's been quite a few decades later, I'm hearing everybody say, no, it's actually like a legitimately awesome movie. It's just that when it came out, a lot of the critics didn't know. They didn't like get what it was. And it's probably because they had no idea what the original Speed Racer was. And they didn't get that it was a style over substance movie in a way. And the guy who dubbed Speed Racer and like got the American version of it off the ground, he has a cameo in the live action movie. I know that because I was researching all this while I was working on Velma, because frankly this was a lot more interesting than talking about Velma. So, if we're being hipster about Speed Racer, Racer X by Big Black was a great song. I'm not familiar with it. I know that there is a fully American sequel to Speed Racer called Racer X, which isn't like a dub, it's a fully American cartoon that they tried to like revive Speed Racer with. And then in the early 2000s, Tatsunoko Productions did a series called Mac Girl that were just like 3 minutes each. I think there's maybe 20 of them, like shorts. And the character designs was by Tatsu's daughter. And I actually really like the character designs. It's the most 2000s thing you've ever seen in your life. But I actually really like it. I think it's really cool. Let me get where's the other one? Of, her outfit is wild. And this was, you can tell, this was at the height of like the Gyaru style. And the Ganguro like fashion style in Japan was all the rage. You can absolutely tell when you look at this. Just grab this as well. Copy this, paste here. Oops, paste here. There we go. So that's Mac Girl. And again, I really like the art style. The anime itself is okay. It's only about 3 minutes per episode. It's just kind of silly. But it's got style. It's got that like Powerpuff Girls from the early 2000s looks for it. So of course I'm a big fan. So I've only watched Bennett and Critic's review of Speed Racer. I wonder if I should bother. I should, because I've heard so many good things about it. And I am interested because the Wachowski sisters, I think like their films are always interesting. Whether or not their films are good is an entirely different discussion. But if nothing else, their films are super interesting, if only visually. Like Jupiter Ascending is not a good movie, like at all. But you cannot accuse that movie of being boring. Reminds me of Cutie Honey. It does kind of look like Cutie Honey. I think a lot of that like Super Sentai style was kind of started with Tatsunoko though, because they did like Gatchaman, and I think they did Gatchaman before Super Sentai, definitely before Kamen Rider. I think Ultraman might have been a thing when Gatchaman was airing, but I'm not sure. I have to like double check my timeline, like the one in my head. I mean, might give the Speed Racer movie a watch eventually. I really should. Like, that's one of those things where it's been on my list for like a decade. And instead of watching it, I'm watching Ashita no Joe. So I've seen the Cutie Honey transformation sequence, totally not safe for work. It is, but I always think of the Cutie Honey theme song from the live action movie, which Hideaki Anno directed. It comes with a fully animated anime style OP, and it's so good. It's like one of my favorite OPs for Cutie Honey ever. So, I mean, there's that. Sean Bean is genetically a bee. Yeah, okay, you ladies have fun. I mean, yeah, it's like you can't accuse it of being boring. You can't accuse it of being creatively bankrupt. You can accuse it for a lot of things, but not for like being slop. I don't think anyone could accuse Jupiter Ascending of being slop. It's insanity, but slop it is not. It is way too interesting to be slop. It's anime, of course, it's gonna have fan service. Yeah, we say that, but it's not entirely true. I mean, I've seen a lot of anime with no fan service to it whatsoever. I think the problem again is that so many people online, like English-speaking people online, their only exposure to anime is like shonen. And it's like, wow, the genre or target demographic of the anime you watch are teenage boys and it has fan service in it. Wow, what an absolutely unheard of event. The show meant for teenage boys has teenage boy interests in it. Like, what a tragedy. Where is my Pepsi? Because I'm laughing at my own stupidity as I'm talking. Sorry, Mama wanted to talk at me. As I'm screaming about anime censorship, your mom walks in like, hi, son. Are you winning? Slop kind of makes my skin crawl the same way many people find moist the gross word. I mean, yeah, but it's very descriptive. It has that feeling of what the word indicates when you refer to a specific kind of media. Because yeah, it's slop for the hog. What was it I saw on the Mario Galaxy movie on Letterboxd? Somebody had like the most amazing review I'd ever heard in my life. Just grab that. Mario. Where's Mario Galaxy? It's not even the first thing that pops up. That's how you know you're in trouble. It's like somebody on Tumblr pointed out that they knew the Odyssey isn't very good because they haven't seen a single GIF set of it. Not this review. There's Kenny Lauderdale has a review on the Mario Galaxy page that just says, what does he say? TikTok ass movie. Here we go. This person, Frames of Nick, gave it 1.5 stars, and let me screenshot this so you guys can see it. Paste it here. At first, the pig craved the slop, but soon it started choking on it, drowning in it. It's so good. Why is there bacon in the soap? I don't know what that's referring. No, I don't know what that's referring to. Sorry, I thought I did for a second, but now I have no idea. That's the thing I don't get. So many girls I know complain about fan service like that, but then defend it when it appeals to girls. I don't get why one thing is good and the other isn't, but whatever. No, it's because, when I like it, it's okay. But when it's not catering towards me, it's bad. Like, that's literally all it is. And again, this ties back into what I was saying with censorship. You have to stick up for the things that you don't like. It's easy to stick up for the things that you like. You also have to stick up for things that you don't like if you're going to be like anti-censorship. It's like, I don't like fan service. I don't like it. It doesn't appeal to me. I roll my eyes when it happens. I try to avoid it in the anime I watch. I am very, very against it getting censored. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean that, it's bad and shouldn't exist. It's crazy to me. It's such a like self-focused way to look at art. It's like when it's something I like, it's fine, but if you like it, it's bad. It's like, excuse me. Robert Pattinson in 2008. OMG, hot vampire go burr. Robert Pattinson 2026. OMG, stop casting the anorexic Brits and everything. I don't know about that. This one I am actually quite ashamed I haven't seen yet, but I do still need to watch The Lighthouse. I'm very excited about watching The Lighthouse because I think it's a movie I'm really, really gonna like, but I haven't seen it yet, and that's very sad because apparently it's like one of Rob Pett's like really, really good performances. Although I hear he's very good in not Nice Guys. That's the one with Ryan Gosling. What's the other one? Happy Day, I think it's called. I might be misremembering. There's a movie he did called Happy Day or something along those lines. Apparently it's really, really good as well. I'm so glad I worked out this walking pose in my thumbnail. So now I don't have to try and figure out how the hell Rocky walks because he's got 5 limbs. Oh, I get it. Some animes I stopped watching because it's nothing but fan service with nothing else. Yeah, like I have a limit, like a threshold of how much I'm willing to put up with myself, because just because I don't want it censored doesn't mean I want to sit there and watch it, you know. If that were the case, right, every single rom-com ever made, I would be like, yeah, no, get rid of it. I think that the bacon in the soap is from Invader Zim. It might be. That sounds like an Invader Zim thing. That sounds like something Jonan would like make a joke about. Man, Pattinson looks like he's gonna go crazy hard in the Chris Hansen movie. Literally, a way of speaking is convincing me to see a movie. Which Chris Hansen movie is that? Let me just look that up. Or just see what he's doing. Because I don't actually keep up with celebrities. I tend to keep up with directors, kind of, sometimes. And oh, he was in The Odyssey. I didn't even know that. He's in The Drama. He's in Mickey 17, Batman Part 2, Die My Love. Oh, he's in Dune Part 3. I didn't even know that. Okay, I can't find what you're talking about, but apparently you're right. He is in everything. Good for him, though. I still mostly know Ryan Gosling from Drive. I love that movie, but I don't think any other has made me so deeply sad afterwards. The fact that I first heard A Real Hero in the final part doesn't help. I need to watch Drive. I've heard a lot about it, haven't watched it. And again, like, I am absolutely insane about Project Hail Mary. And certain Project Hail Mary fans on Tumblr are like really excited about an upcoming Ryan Gosling movie. And I'm like, I don't really care that it's Ryan Gosling. I care that it's a good story, and I care that the directing in it is incredible, and I care about the way it's written. I'm far more interested in it based on the writing of Andy Weir, who did The Martian. That's why I was excited about it in the first place. I'm far more interested in the fact that the directors for Project Hail Mary are the guys who did Clone High and the Lego Movie. Like, that's far more interesting to me than the fact that Ryan Gosling is in it. And the fact that the cinematographer is the guy who worked on the recent Dune movies, like, that's way more interesting to me than the fact that Ryan Gosling is in it. Oh, lag? Are we good? It says stream healthy on my side, so hopefully it's just you, Monster Sloopy. Phil Lord and Chris Miller worked on that. Yeah, they worked on Clone High. They worked on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They worked on the Lego Movie. Like, literally, these guys have had nothing but, like, home runs. I'm sure, I know there's one thing they did which wasn't good, but in terms of, like, home runs that they've managed to hit with their movies, like, it's just been hit after hit for me. It's like, yeah, these guys are great. And they did the Spider-Verse films as well. I forgot about that. They also did the Spider-Verse movies. They were supposed to do a Star Wars movie, and thank goodness that didn't go through. That would be the Dark Timeline, is where they made a Star Wars movie instead of Project Hail Mary. That's like the Dark Timeline. Season 1. Definitely Season 1, not Season 2. I always forget that there's a fan fiction version of Clone High, which we don't talk about. No, they worked on the original. And the Michaels versus the Machines. Oh, really? Was that them as well? Awesome. And the Han Solo thing before it stopped being their Han Solo thing. Yeah, like I said, the one where they got to make a Star Wars movie is probably the bad timeline. For once, we live in the good timeline where they didn't go on to get trapped in Disney's honeypot that is Star Wars, and they got to make something like Project Hail Mary instead. Hearing you fangirl over Mass Effect all the time kind of makes me want to play it for myself. Any suggestions for a first-time player? I do. Excuse me, I had some Pepsi. Let me just check the store. You will see on Steam, it often goes on sale for like 90% off. And it does that quite often. Let me check if it's on sale right now, actually. So I would wait for that. I absolutely say get the Legendary Edition. Okay, it's not for sale for me at the moment. Legendary Edition, because the Legendary Edition is all 3 games, all the DLC. It has a bunch of quality of life upgrades. It has a bunch of extra stuff. And if you're going to mod it, that is the one that most people make mods for. So get the Legendary Edition. The other thing is, what else can I say about it? The first Mass Effect is not a good representation of what the series becomes after it. Even though a lot of people say the first one is their favorite and they wish that the second and third one kind of stuck with it a little bit more. But if you're playing the first one and you don't see why I'm as insane about it as I am, just wait until the second one and that will kind of make you go, oh, okay, now I get it. What else? Ignore the online discourse about what's the best ending, because that is just a pathway to misery. Just play it for yourself and decide for yourself which ending you like, what you think is good. What else? Mass Effect 2 is the best in my opinion. I actually like 3. I know a lot of people say they have issues with 3. I really, really like 3 a lot. And as I said before, I'm somebody, I really like the ending of Mass Effect 3. I don't fully agree with a lot of people's criticisms, and this won't be a spoiler. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I don't agree with a lot of people's criticism as to why they say they don't like 3. I'm like, that doesn't sound like an accurate reflection of the video game. I don't really know what you mean when you say that, quite frankly. He has vents. I don't know if you can see them. Hold on. This arm is in the way, and this arm is not in the way here. So I think, hold on, let me just grab the 3D model I have of his torso, because I think I should be able to see the vents here. Sorry, I'm stopping halfway through my sentence here. You turn. I hate it when Clip Studio Paint gimbal locks something, and then it can be really hard to rotate it. Yeah, so you can see the vents from here. Okay, come here. Make you smaller. Put you there. Okay, I see. So let's drag this back where it should be. So you can see here is this leg is this leg here. This leg is this leg here. And you can see he's got vents just underneath this leg here, around there. And he's also got vents under this leg, but I don't think you can see them as well from here. And you need to draw them because it's how he breathes. If I don't draw the vents, then he doesn't get to breathe. Anyway, what was I saying? Mass Effect. I can't stand replaying Mass Effect 2. Oh, my power ranking for Mass Effect is Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2. That's interesting because a lot of people say they actually like 2 the best, which I understand why. I just like 3 more. My problem with Mass Effect 2 are the forced encounters. It makes me anxious to do side quests. Oh, okay, no, I know exactly what you mean. I'm not going to spoil it, but I know exactly what you mean. That might be something for who said that they wanted to give it a try and who asked. It was Bluntman. Bluntman, Mass Effect 2 has a hidden timer for the final mission. So when you reach a certain point right at the end, you might want to look up when the hidden timer kicks in, and then you might want to just kind of rearrange how you do the missions before the hidden timer kicks in, because that can fuck you over so badly, and it's kind of a dick move that they don't warn you about that. Brian just reminded me of that, and I do agree. I don't think about it as much because obviously I more or less have the order of events like memorized in Mass Effect 2. But when my friend was playing it for the first time, I like really had to guide her into what missions to do when, to avoid fucking herself with the hidden timer at the end. Because yeah, it's annoying. What is this thing? Is it made of stone? Or should I just watch the movie? Just watch the movie! But his name is Rocky. That's what Grace calls him. He has a name, but I can't pronounce it. Nobody can pronounce it because it's in his alien language. He has a carapace. It's not actually made of rock. I forget what it's made of. I probably have it in the Law Bible here, but I'm not going to go dig through that to find out what the actual carapace is made up of. He's basically a crab. He's got an external carapace, and he's got an internal system. And his blood, I believe, is mostly mercury, if I remember correctly. He doesn't have a lot of blood. And what the vents are here is, he doesn't actually breathe oxygen the way we do. Because what we do is we take in oxygen and it oxygenates our blood. How they work is they've got an internal combustion engine, basically, like an organic combustion engine. And it runs at a boiling temperature at all times. So what they do is they take in air and then they vent it out the top to cool the internal system. So they can't hold their breaths the way that humans do, because they would basically cook within 3 minutes, I believe is the time frame. So that's why it's important not to forget to draw the vents. Otherwise he will die. Get a load of this, nerd. Shut up. I'm a Mass Effect fan. Of course I care about boring minutiae as to how alien species work that nobody else cares about but me. I like trying to do accents as accurately as possible. I mean, I have a thing with accents, and Afrikaner is one I have trouble with. It jumps around in ways that don't come naturally to me, but you've been a reference, I think. My accent is more English speaking Afrikaans. I have kind of leaned into having a slightly more Afrikaans accent since I've been living here in the South, but it is a little bit more British Afrikaans. There's more the Afrikaner Afrikaans, which is very, very different. And if I were to equate it to like an American sensibility, it's a little bit more like you guys have Southern, like it has that connotation of being like a farmer or, a little bit more rustic. That's more the Afrikaner Afrikaans accent. And I tend to speak the one that's slightly more British, and it's because I grew up in Johannesburg, which is an predominantly English-speaking city. The city next door is the one that's predominantly Afrikaans. So yeah, my accent, it's a bit all over the place. You're not American? Oh, okay. Heck, no, not entirely. It's difficult because South Africa has 11 official languages. Well, 12 if you count sign language. So when it comes to accents, it's a little difficult to be like, oh, that's what this accent is. That's what that accent is. We have a lot of languages. So I'm a redneck. No, I'm not. I don't think we really have rednecks. We have like the boer, which is the farmer, but they tend to be quite wealthy. So no, not entirely. Was there only any person who cried at the scene when Rocky says Rocky Roach crew die? Yeah, no, that scene hits hard. Again, I'm not going to read it out because everybody who hasn't seen the movie, go watch the movie. It's on Amazon Prime, not sponsored. It's really good. And every single, a movie is good when like your parents and your friends as middle-aged / elderly parents watch it. And even the elderly parents are like, oh, this movie is so good. Like, the weird fangirls love it. The sci-fi fans love it. The Star Wars fans love it. The elderly love it. I haven't met a single person who does not love the movie. Like, legitimately. I have people who are like, oh, well, I liked Iron Lung more. But I've never met somebody who's like, no, I don't like the movie. It's not a thing that happens. Oh no, that's the accent thing. I like watching the African Family Feuds that Steve Harvey hosts. He makes a big thing of not understanding accents, but it seems like all in good fun for everyone. Yeah, like, I've never watched Family Feud. I think we might have a South African version of it, but I'm not sure. I don't really watch a lot of reality TV. I mainly watch YouTube because I can watch it while I'm drawing. And then sometimes I'll, like, watch a TV show like Ashita no Joe, which is what I'm currently watching. That's exactly why I got turned off it at first, because so many people who gush about Gosling were praising it. So I was iffy at first, but then my parents said we should watch it, and wow, yeah. I went to go watch it because, again, I liked The Martian, and I wanted to see what this new movie based on Andy Weir's writing would be like, because The Martian was so good. And I was skeptical at first because The Martian is directed by Ridley Scott. And I was like, okay, well, would another movie be good even if it's not directed by Ridley Scott? And then I saw it was directed by the guys who did Spider-Verse and Cloudy with Chance Meatballs and Clone High. And I was like, oh no, it'll either be really good or it'll be a massive disaster. And then it turned out to be like the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my life. So there you go. My father didn't like it. Your father is wrong. Oh, you're speaking to Andrea. Maybe there's more Canadian. The thing is, I studied for 2 years in Vancouver, and there are certain things that have messed up my accent in a way. I don't think it would be very obvious for somebody who's actually from Canada, but there are certain things, like the way I pronounce my R's is very much not South African in any way. It's morally, it's a little bit more pronounced and a little bit more American or Canadian for that, if you want to go that way. And that's mainly because the R's in South Africa are a lot more silent. And I find it a little bit frustrating because it can make it a little difficult to figure out what I'm saying. And I don't always roll my R's because that is more the Afrikaans accent. So I'll roll my R's for certain words. I know I roll my R's when I say 3, but R's are difficult. Sorry, I had to get a bedsheet load into the wash. I missed a bunch of shit about Canadian accents being weird. No, we were just, people were asking me about my accent because I'm South African, and they were saying that the South African accent can be a little weird, and I pointed out, well, South Africa has 11 languages. So our accents are all over the place, and we're one of those countries, much like England, where you can like pinpoint where somebody grew up based on their accent, like to the city. I mean, like if somebody grew up in Pretoria, it's pretty obvious based on how they speak Afrikaans that, oh, you grew up in the south, oh, you grew up in the Kalahari, oh, you grew up in Pretoria. Like, your accent sounds normal to me. Well, that's good at least. I think the way she's describing her accent would be like the proper accent is like a proper Canadian accent, while hers is more like a hardcore Newfie Maritime accent. But what was I saying? I was talking about Mass Effect again. Yeah. Get the Legendary Edition. Wait for it to go on sale because it goes on sale a lot. If you play the official versions, shall we say, it is going to ask you to make a BioWare account, which is really annoying. I downloaded a different version of the Legendary Edition because I refused to make a BioWare account. So there's that as well. But I mean, that just depends like how pedantic you are about that thing. Because like I made a Rockstar account for Red Dead Redemption 2, which I haven't played yet, but I wanted to check whether it downloaded properly, so I had to make a Rockstar account to check that, which was annoying. The official versions on the consoles are pretty good still if you just want to pick up the discs. The thing is though, the console versions, if it's not the Legendary Edition, it's not going to have the DLC. And the problem there is Mass Effect came out when video games were doing that thing where they would sell the real ending to the story as DLC. Like, I don't know why BioWare was doing this at the time. They did this with Dragon Age Inquisition as well. It drove me crazy. And also, the disc version of Mass Effect 3 requires you to play a certain amount of the game in the multiplayer to get the best ending. And the multiplayer servers on the console no longer work. So if you want, where's my Pepsi? Here it is. If you want the best ending in Mass Effect 3, you need to play the multiplayer games, which are no longer available. So you're completely locked out of one of the endings. They've changed this in the Legendary Edition. They've kind of changed how the galactic readiness works. So you no longer have to play the multiplayer because they didn't bother updating the multiplayer for Legendary Edition. So they just kind of changed certain parameters so that you could still get the best ending without the whole multiplayer nonsense. Because Mass Effect 3 came out during that time when every single video game from a major company was like, oh, people don't play single player games anymore. They only play multiplayer. So we have to force them to play multiplayer. That was like a whole thing in 2012. It was a nightmare. I mean, there's no multiplayer on Legendary Edition. I hope they change it. Yeah, the multiplayer was fun because it was PvE. It was collaborative. So that was kind of fun. It's not that the multiplayer was bad. It's just that you were forced to play it to get the good ending. Or what I consider to be the good ending. A lot of people really hate the ending that I like. But that's my favorite, and I refuse to have one of the other endings. So, yeah. The Legendary Edition just does away with all of that. And like I said, it includes all the DLC, including the real ending. So, yeah. My biggest gripe with the original ME3 was they changed how my character looked, made me cry. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dana. Dana is back from outside. Ew. Oh, wait. I forgot his little things here. Oh, hiccup. And what do I need here? Okay. He's more or less done in this pose. I don't need to add too many extra details to him. Probably just kind of refine the leg shape a little bit and add the scarification that he's got. But I think he's relatively good. Yeah, and his legs are pointing outwards, so you can't really see his fingers that much because his fingers go like that and his thumb comes down here, and then the finger is split on that side, so you can't really see it. So I don't need to worry about that too much. Same here. I believe the fingers are split this way, so it'd be like that. There we go. I always played in console because I'm a Mac user. Oh, that sucks. I used to only use MacBook because when I was studying, Mac was like the default machine used for animators. But I switched back to PC in 2017 and I just haven't bothered with Mac since. Like, no. Peeking in on a break. Who or what are we drawing? We're doing the free stream, so I'm just working on a comic I'm already working on. Not next week, but the week after that we'll do the Patreon stream because the tier has been hit. So on the 29th, we'll do the Patreon stream and then we'll like pick somebody specific who we'll draw. And I'm just drawing Rocky because for some reason, even though it can be difficult for me to draw and talk at the same time and read chat and check the connection, for some reason, I really don't struggle with drawing Rocky. So even though I often redraw the same leg 5,000 times, I can get a relatively good pose out of him without having to work too hard. I don't know why. Windows 11 got me off Windows for good. Yeah, I can understand that. I had to like install so many like remove malware things on this PC when I got it, like remove the spyware and all of that. It was a time. But it also means that I have access to a lot more video games now because I used to be a PlayStation only person, but PlayStation is just so expensive in this country. It's like actually ridiculous. And they've essentially just priced themselves out of this market, as well as all the Sony offices have moved out of the country because they don't see a financial benefit in staying here because the country is too poor. So if my PlayStation like breaks, I can only fix it through like a third party. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just switch to PC then. So I got this PC, and that's allowed me to get all kinds of games that I wasn't able to play before because I had, what do I have here? Baldur's Gate 3, I know that's new, but Baldur's Gate 3. Brutal Legend, I still need to play. Clear Obscure, Expedition 33, that's what I want to play next. Death Stranding, the Director's Cut. Disco Elysium, Dishonored. I have actually played Dishonored. I didn't finish it. I got like right up to the last mission, so I will have to restart Dishonored. Divinity, Original Sin, Divinity, Original Sin 2, Dragon Age. Okay, I've played the Dragon Age ones. I played those on PlayStation. What else? What have I not played? Gabriel Knight. I didn't know I had Gabriel Knight. Apparently, I own Gabriel Knight. Dana, I own Gabriel Knight. Grim Fandango, that's one I never played before. The Half-Life games, I have played Half-Life 2, but I played it on PlayStation, so I don't think that counts. And like, I've got the complete Halo Master Chief Collection. Because I didn't have Xbox, I've never played the Halo games, so I'm quite excited about that. I think I will really like them. They sounded not my kind of thing until I saw one of my mutuals on Tumblr, who's a giant Mass Effect fan, is also a giant Halo fan. And I watched the Mandalore Gaming's video on Marathon, like the Marathon games. And they were what Bungie made before Halo. And just the way that those games were written, I'm like, well, if Halo has similar writing to this, I'll probably like it. Because I like a lot of these like old school sci-fi concepts in this. Have a good night. Oh, Trial Dales saying goodbye. Yeah, I'm going to have to say goodbye in a few minutes as well, about like 15 minutes or so. But yeah, so I'm excited to check out the Halo collection. I think the Master Chief collection, I think it's the four... Is it the first 4 games? I'm not sure. Not entirely sure, but I've got that. Never played that before, so I'm excited about that. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. A Kingdom Come Deliverance, that's another one. Okay, Little Nightmares. Why do I have Little Nightmares? I don't remember buying that. Okay, Mass Effect Andromeda, which I haven't played. And Nier Automata I did play on PlayStation. I actually rebought it for my PC because I liked the PlayStation game so much. No Man's Sky. Omori, One Shot. Outer Wilds, I still need to play. Pathfinder. Pathfinder again. I've got Persona 4, but I've played that on PS2. Pillars of Eternity, Pillars of Eternity 2, Portal, Portal 2, Psychonauts 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. What's this? Oh, no, that's... it says The Room, but it's not Silent Hill, it's something else. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, Stellaris. What else? Okay, Undertale. Warhammer Rogue Trader. Yeah. Oh, and Wonder Stop. So I've got like all these games, which if I was still just focusing on PlayStation, I would not have access to. Especially like the Halo collection. That would just not be available to me whatsoever. Persona 4 Royale. I've got Persona 5 on PlayStation. However, I must say, I don't really like Persona 5. I've played about 20 hours of it. I hate every single character. And that's really annoying to me because I really like Persona 4. Persona 4 is like one of my favorite RPGs. So the fact that I hate absolutely every single character in Persona 5 is actually kind of upsetting to me because I wanted to like it. And I just can't because everyone in Persona 5 just sucks. Everyone sucks. Are you going to play I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream for your The Amazing Digital Circus video? I should. I don't know whether I'll play it myself, but there is a gameplay archive on YouTube that has a full playthrough of it up. I think it's about 3 hours. So I'll probably just watch that. And I should probably do that soon because as far as the script for The Amazing Digital Circus goes, I've written Gangle section, I've written Pomni, I've written Zooble, and next up I'm writing Ragatha, where, spoilers, I don't like Ragatha at all. Then I'm going to do Kane, then I'm going to do Kinger, and then I'm going to do Jax. And Jax is going to be like probably half the video because the show focuses on him so much. And I've got a lot to say about him. Hate the characters. Any particular reason? Yes. I don't like... What's their name? Morgana. I really don't like Morgana. I find Morgana's pervert shtick to be extremely annoying. They're basically Mineta from My Hero Academia. Like, they're similarly written to that, so immediately I don't like them. I don't like Ann whatsoever. She really pisses me off. And then I don't like... And when you start the game, you've got your boy, whose name I forget. What is the best friend's character's names? Persona 4 characters. Let me just check. Chat will probably tell me, but I'll Google it anyway. List of Persona 5 characters. Here we go. Yeah, Morgana. Okay, Ryuji. I like Ryuji, but I really dislike Morgana because I don't like their stupid pervert shtick. I don't like Ann. I really, really don't like her. And like for 10 hours, the only characters in your party are you, Ryuji, Morgana, and Ann. And what happens is Morgana and Ann like team up to bully Ryuji, the only character I like. So I'm like stuck with these two assholes making fun of the character I like, and I hate both of them. And then the character you get after that is Yusuke. And I wanted to like Yusuke, and then he also did the pervert thing. And I was like, fuck this, and I stopped playing. Did somebody say you've got the boy? No, I said you've got ya boy, Ryuji. So yeah, that like, I hated everyone. I hate everyone in this stupid game. All of them suck. Hi again, been a second. What's happening? I'm yelling about Persona 5 and the fact that I really hate everyone in it. And it sucks because I love Persona 4. Persona 4 is so good. And there isn't a single character in Persona 4 that I dislike. And I got 20 hours into Persona 5 and I gave up because I hated everyone. And it was just frustrating to play. I'm going to head out now. I'm glad I was able to get your opinions on the whole censorship stuff. Goodbye, everyone. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out, Diamond Lock Productions. Yeah, we'll see whether somebody decides me to cancel me because I said censorship bad. It's the hot take of the century, I suppose. I like the teacher from Persona 5. It's difficult. Like, I just find that the shadows in Persona 4 had a lot more interesting... Like, the gimmick there was far more interesting to me. Because in Persona 4, the gimmick is... The boss monster you fight and the dungeon that you go into is constructed from the subconscious of the person who's been thrown into the TV. Basically, it's Silent Hill. So you're trying to rescue the person that's been thrown into the TV, and you've got to do it within a time limit. And the person is stuck in their own version of Silent Hill, and the only way they can really get out of it is to accept that this horrible monster that's the boss of the level is a part of themselves. It's the part of themselves that's like really terrible, and they don't want to acknowledge that that is a part of who you are. And the only way for them to survive is if they acknowledge that this terrible, terrible part of themselves, that is a part of themselves. And then in Persona 4, it's like, oh yeah, you have to go inside the teacher's mind and you have to like break his mind because he's like a pervert loser. And it's just so much less interesting to me. And I'm like, okay, I don't really care about this teacher. He's a loser pervert, and I go into his mind to like make him confess to that. Okay, like it's so much less interesting to me than going into the Silent Hill dimension to save somebody from a serial killer who pushes them into the TV. And I also find the setting of Persona 4 a lot more interesting because Persona 5 takes place in Shibuya, and it's just the middle of Tokyo. Whereas Persona 4 takes place in a small rural village. And that setting is just far more interesting to me in terms of where it takes place. Again, Persona 5 is just a city. It's like, okay, cool. P4 and P5 are two completely different games. I do like it's not just the same game with copying characters. That is true. I do want to play Persona 3. But the remake of Persona 3 never goes on sale, and when it does, it's always like 40% off, which is a real shame because it's quite expensive in my currency. I can get a copy of the original Persona 3 and I can like emulate it, but I figured since Persona 3 Reload exists, it's on sale at the moment. Since Persona 3 Reload exists, it's probably a better idea just to buy that at some stage, instead of like emulating the original, just because I think it'll probably have a little bit more meat to it. Also, let me just check. Yeah, it's got overwhelmingly positive, so 96% positive reviews. So I assume as far as a remake goes, it's a pretty decent remake. A Silent Hill fights with Zelda as my favorite game series. I mean, pretty much. That is pretty much what Persona 4 is. I need to play Persona 4 Golden. That's the one I've got on my Steam, because I've played the PlayStation 2 version, but I've only played like the original release. I haven't played the Golden version, which is basically the original, but with like an extra game attached to it. Hold on, my eye is watering. I can't see. There we go. And I apologize if I sniff in your ear. It's just because my eye was watering. But yeah, so I tried Persona 5, and by tried, I really mean I tried like 20 hours I played of it. Got to Yusuke and just couldn't do it anymore. I might get back to it at some point, but I mean, I have so many other things I'm far more interested in playing. Like, I'm far more interested in playing Death Stranding and Kingdom Come Deliverance, that I don't know how long it's going to be before I give Persona 5 another try. I'm more likely to play Persona 3 and to replay Persona 4 than I am to play Persona 5. Hold on, I'm just going to mute so I don't sniff directly in your ear. There we go. Sorry to detail. I just saw a bald eagle in the wild. Gee, Dana, which country are you from? Bluntman says, IMO, you really didn't give Persona 5 a fair chance. Yusuke asking Anne to pose nude was a one-time thing, and you haven't even got to Makoto, Futaba, and Haru. I hear that they're the better characters, especially I think Futaba is the one that a lot of people like. It's just, man, 20 hours with these yahoos making fun of the only character I like. It's torture, man. It's so painful. I didn't think Persona was remotely horror. It's not, but like the concept of your psychology being the thing that kills you, I mean, that's very Silent Hill. I'm still sniffling. Goemon Ishikawa is in the house. What, in Persona? Does Goemon show up? Because I might actually play it if that happens. Let me just see, what is this hand doing? But yeah, so my hot take is I don't like Persona 5. And I hear what you're saying, that I didn't give it a chance because none of the really good characters have showed up yet. But again, 20 hours! Hey, Rayman! Goemon is Yusuke's Persona. Oh, okay, I'm with you. I understand. You must understand, when you say Goemon Ishikawa, I'm immediately gonna think Lupin the Third. Persona should be on my radar, probably. Of course, I'm going to say try Persona 4 because it's my favorite. Also, Persona 4 is fun because the setup of Persona 4, and this isn't a spoiler, this is just the setup of the game, is there is a rumor in this rural town that if you watch the TV at exactly midnight, a mysterious channel comes up where you see somebody you know, and they're saying really wild things. And what happens is there is somebody in town who is pushing people into the TV when this midnight hour happens, and they become stuck, and they get trapped in their own version of Silent Hill. And if they stay there too long, the Silent Hill version of their inner psyche is going to kill them. So essentially, you've got a serial killer in a small town, and its method of killing people is to shove them into a TV dimension where their psyche does the killing for him. And if you're a teenaged kid, you're not going to go to the police and say, hey, I figured out why these people are dying in this town. They're getting shoved into the television. Nobody's going to believe you. So you and your ragtag group of friends make it your mission to go inside the TV and rescue the people that get shoved in there by the serial killer and help them come to terms with the horrible, awful psyche that they're struggling with so that they can overcome it. And then you like collect friends and they become part of your party. And It's also kind of a monster collectathon. It's got a bit of a Pokemon thing going on where you can capture and fuse different creatures that you find in the dungeon. That's like a whole thing. I forgot about that. And the other thing with Persona is a lot of it is based on tarot cards. It's Jungian psychology and tarot cards and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon in an RPG. And that's Persona. So it's really, really good. Oh yeah, the creator of P5 is a massive Lupin the Third fan. Oh yeah, you can tell. There's actually a YouTube video of the P5 opening perfectly matching the second series opening song. That doesn't shock me because just like there are certain visual motifs in Persona 5 that I can totally see as being Lupin adjacent. Just the idea that you're playing a thief that's breaking into somebody else's mind palace to steal their most valuable treasure. I mean, that's Lupin the Third, basically. You'd be right. I thought it would be funny, and it's stuck since. What are you talking about? That is what I was quoting. Persona is chock full of Lupin the Third references. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I grew up with Ocarina of Time. I am biased. If you played it as a kid, you'd know. I didn't. Nintendo didn't really have a presence in my country up until the Wii, and they have the Switch here, like we have the Switch, but I can't say Nintendo has that much of a presence here now either. I think most kids here, they know Pokemon, and whatever else Nintendo stuff they know, they would know it from YouTube, and like YouTubers talking about it more than they'd know it from actually Nintendo stuff, I would think. So I did have a N64 growing up, but it was because my dad bought it in Germany. And the only games I had for it were Pokemon Snap, Super Smash Brothers, and Wipeout. And I think we had another game. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. So we had Smash Brothers, we had Pokemon Snap, and we had Wipeout. And those are the only games I've played on the N64. Hi Cbuff, have you seen the anime Goodbye Lara, which is the Little Mermaid adaptation? I have not, but let me look that up quick, or at least put it on my list so I won't forget. Also, I see my time has run out here, so I'll deal with that in a second. Goodbye Lara. Oh, it's new. Okay, let me see. Add to my list. Not watching as planned to watch. Oh, it wants me to sign in. I'm not even signed in. Okay, I'll edit it afterwards. Who's the studio behind this? Hold on. Kinema Citrus. Let me have a look. Oh, they made Made in Abyss. Okay, that's who they are. Okay, I'll check it out. I see it has an interesting art style as well. It kind of has like a slightly more retro look. Speaking of which, I still need to see the new Ghost in the Shell anime. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Avina, there we go. Here's to the Persona 3 fund. Oh, thank you. I hope you enjoy the game when you get around to it. Also, hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you so much, Kevin Riley. Yeah, like that one I'm quite interested in Persona 3. I'm not expecting Persona 4. I've seen a bit of Persona 3, but no spoilers or anything. It's a lot darker in tone by the looks of it, even though Persona 4 is about a serial killer. But Persona 3 looks a lot darker in its tone, and it looks like it might lean a little bit more into like Shinigami Tensei in terms of its aesthetic and the ideas it grapples with, which is interesting to me. Like I'm totally cool with that. So I am curious about it. Way darker? Yeah, no, I can tell from the fact that you summon your persona by putting a gun to your head kind of clued me in that it might be a little bit darker in tone compared to Persona 4. Let me see, because I will have to say goodnight soon because it's the free stream, so we're only streaming for 2 hours tonight. And I got this Rocky done, so I'm quite happy with that. Because it can be quite difficult to like talk and draw at the same time. Like I need to be doing something where I'm just kind of going through the motions rather than trying to problem solve a difficult anatomy question. Gods of Death love apples. Let's see what else. 3DS. Happy August. Thank you. The Tezuka short mermaid is also on YouTube. Really? Because I have a digital copy of the Little Mermaid movie from the 70s. Is this music on a loop? There we go. Sheesh, sitting here in silence. I have a copy of the Little Mermaid movie that was made in the 70s. I forget who did that though. I can't remember which studio was behind that. I don't think it was Tezuka Productions. Oh, speaking of which, I said I was watching Ashita no Joe. I was watching it and I'm like, why is the animation like a decade ahead of what it should be for when this came out? And it turns out it was made by Mushi Productions, which is Osamu Tezuka's original studio. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that explains a lot. And it was directed by Dezaki. Dezaki is the director behind Rose of Versailles. And he was on the original Astro Boy. He did the Blackjack movie from the 90s, which is okay, it's pretty good. He also did Oni Samae, and he did Ace wo Narai. He did that. He did like a really, really, really good chunk of classic animes. Really, really well-known director. And that anime trope of things cutting to like a watercolor still, like Dezaki is the guy who started that trope. So he's a really well-known director. So when I saw his name was on Ashita no Joe and it was made by Mushi Productions, I'm like, okay, yeah, that explains a lot as to why this show looks the way it does, despite coming out in like 1969. If you're looking for a real boxing anime, check out Hajime no Ippo. That is actually on my list. I was thinking of, if I'm able to keep up with it before I lose interest, because ADHD brain, I want to watch Ashita no Joe, and then I want to watch Ashita no Joe 2, which is apparently better than the original series. And then I want to check out Hajime no Ippo, because I know that a lot of people like Hajime no Ippo more than Ashita no Joe. But I figured I need to start with Ashita no Joe, especially because, I mean, I really like Showa anime because I like thinking about the historical context that the anime came out in. And I also like placing it in the period that it was, and then I like seeing how it reflects the time it was made. Like, I like thinking about all those very interesting things. And Ashita no Joe, coming out in 1970, 1969, it's a very, very specific era in Japanese history, and it's right on the brink where anime stopped being cartoons for children and started turning into like a medium where you could tell more adult quote-unquote stories, even though it was aimed at like teenagers and stuff like that. There was a focus on kind of pushing it beyond just being cartoons, which is what it was in the 50s and most of the 60s. So Ashita no Joe is kind of a pioneer in that aspect, because it's one of the anime that came out and really said, hey, rather than just making cartoons for children, how about we actually tell a more mature story? So it's really interesting to me to see like this melting pot of a lot of things coming together in this time period. And that's also kind of why I'm watching Ashita no Joe. And also because I made Dana watch Rocky because she'd never seen it before. And I was like, you know what? I should really watch Ashita no Joe, because I can't believe that Ashita no Joe came out before Rocky did. Like, that's insane. Hey, Monster Slurpee, I'm just wrapping up here. And I'm yapping about Ashita no Joe because I started watching it. If I had $1, everyone with ADHD these days, I'd be richer than... Hey, at least I got diagnosed in like the 90s, okay? I'm a long-standing member of the ADHD club. I returned. Oh, it's Monster Slurpee. And HJFIs is back too. I wish America got the memo with animation. Yeah, that's a whole discussion in terms of like America's struggle to contextualize animation for adults. Because the way that America approaches it is there's a hard line between children's cartoons and adult cartoons. And there's very, very little that like sits in between those two. And America kind of defines adult animation as sitcoms. And that's exceptionally boring to me. It is getting a little better these days, mainly because America is trying to ape anime. Like, I believe the Castlevania series, that's more an American show than it is an anime. Even though it looks like an anime, I would count that more as an American show. Same with Devil May Cry. I don't think I would really count that as an anime. It's more an American show. But yeah, so America's kind of starting to get the memo. but it still kind of has this problem where it labels things as children's cartoons or adult cartoons, and it doesn't have anything in between, which is really frustrating. And I think that's where a lot of this nonsense about anime should be censored comes from as well, is because anime, Japan does not approach anime as a genre. It approaches it as a medium. And so there is anime that is made for teenagers, which is not for children, but it's not for adults. And I think that's why a lot of people on the internet, that like boils their brains, because they're like, well, how come this is fan service for teenagers? And it's like, because it's made for teenagers. It's not made for adults. It's not made for children. It's made for teenagers. That's why it's there. So, Samurai Jack almost bridges that gap, but you must remember Samurai Jack aired on Cartoon Network. It was marketed towards children. And then when the older, like the much later season of Samurai Jack came out, it was labeled squarely for adults. So it's like almost there, but it still has the problem, especially the original series, where it's considered for children. Even though Gendy kind of wanted it to be a little bit more mature than that, it's a children's cartoon. It aired on Cartoon Network during the daytime for children. I watched it when I was 12, so Avatar was also a great American show. I'm not talking about the Blue Cat Babies. Avatar is okay. This is my hottest take. I'm aware that I will get lynched and like thrown out of town and like tarred and feathered, but Avatar: The Last Airbender is an okay show. It's all right. It's got a few good moments in it. It's got a good character or two, and it's fine. It's a perfectly okay show. And that is my hot take. Is Avatar is okay. It's all right. I've seen it several times, and even when I watched it the first time, I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. And I've watched it a few times, and every single time I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I suppose it's okay. It doesn't really do anything for me. It's all right. What do you think of The Legend of Korra? I never watched it. And from everything I heard about it, that's probably a good thing. It sounds like if you are not an Avatar fan, Korra is not the thing that's going to make you an Avatar fan. Like, that's what it comes across as to me. Like, yeah, and like from what I hear about Korra, it is so obsessed with its teenage drama relationship nonsense. And nothing could be more off-putting to me than teenage relationship nonsense. No. No. I'd say older Simpsons were tamer compared to its contemporaries like Family Guy and South Park. No, it was. But Simpsons as well has like this entire context structured around it in terms of when it came out and what it's trying to do, etc., etc. But anyway, I should be saying goodnight because you guys are just staring at a static screen here while I'm yapping, and I just realized that's probably not very exciting for you guys. So I am going to say goodnight. I'm going to drop the bomb that I think Atla is just okay, and then I'm gonna leave. So I'm gonna say goodnight, and I'll see you guys on the 29th, and we'll have a longer stream that night instead. So let me just turn on the ending screen and hit transition, and we're gonna end with, oh, I don't even have it up. Oh, it's because I had to restart. We're gonna end with another song from the promotional CD for 5 Star Stories' manga, which I only listened to today for the first time. It's weird, but I like it. It's a very, very strange song, but I listened to it and I'm like, I can't decide whether I like this or not, but then it got stuck in my head and I'm like, okay, fine, we'll end on this one. So good night, guys. I shall see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.